If you look, there are some things that I would say are in the launch quality category. Launching a vehicle is always extremely difficult. And then, as we look at these vehicles, you can find them. A simple example, if you look at this seal and how it should be wrapped, over here, but you can see that it gets puckered here. You can see that it's bulbs and pops out over here. So these are areas that they have to try to refine both the product and the process in how to assemble it. So you'll see these pop up along the way. But
now, is that an assembly line worker thing? Yeah. Oh, it is. Okay, so it's not a problem with the seal itself, it's just the way it was put in?
Well, yeah, it depends. Right? The seal could be hard to put in or by design, or it could go in easily, but someone's moving faster, they got a new person on the line, or they're just learning the system. Right. But you can see how it's been done here. Right. There was another interesting observation in that the front door is open, a nice large opening, but the rears actually open up about 90 degrees. So when you open the rear doors, they really have a wide swing. Noticed on this truck though, that this door opened 90 degrees, but that one didn't. It only opened like the fronts do. I said, what in the world? Why would one open, not the other? Well, when you look at the difference in the hinge, you can see how this is scalloped out so that when this hinge moves, it allows it to go that far. Where the front isn't scalloped like that, and it only allows it to go this far. Well, we find out that that top hinge is one of these.
This car expert just showed the world a new dimension to the technology behind the Cybertruck. Just when we thought that Sandy Munro has revealed all that there is to know about the Cybertruck, this analyst just proved that we've only just scratched the surface. The Tesla Cybertruck is a mystery that is blowing people's minds. And this is not just because of its unique appearance. Rather, it is the incredible technology with which the truck was built. It might be obvious now, but this stainless steel beast might just be the key to unlocking even greater riches for Tesla and a sweet ride for investors.
Dryden, which names do you think are best performers? Like, for example, Tesla, which has been down this year and the worst performer in the S&P. Do you think that's the opportunity is there, or are you looking at Rivian or Polestar or Lee or what? Are any of these buys in your minds quickly, Dryden Pence?
Well, I think more importantly is to look in the components of the various cars. So it's not just the brands itself, but all the ones supporting them. I know you're going to talk about lithium here in a few minutes, but also I think, as you mentioned, Tesla, it certainly has been pulled back, but it still becomes the dominant player in this. And you're going to see other companies go through, and you're going to begin to see, I think, this adjustment period. So where we don't pick one superstar at this moment in this space, we think the entire industry is just going to go through a maturing process, and we've got to look for the companies that are grabbing the greater profits of it. So while Tesla has been certainly heavily affected on this, we're not overly negative on the name. And I think that we just have to recognize that it's not just the brands of the cars, but it's all the down trace of the various companies that are going to be involved in the engineering and the building out of the infrastructure as we run through this.
It's no secret that the stock market can resemble a roller coaster ride at times, and Tesla, a true market disruptor, isn't immune to these fluctuations. However, every seasoned investor knows that market dips can often create enticing entry points. Simply put, opportunities often arise when others panic. This is what I mean. Tesla stock has been trading at a rather low price recently, and some investors are actually worried that they're not going to make as much profit as they expected from their Tesla investment. But the reality is, this dip is just momentary and will definitely change course in no time. Why? Well, this Cybertruck breakdown could reveal the sleeping giant that Tesla has been nurturing, and it won't be surprising if this becomes the next big Tesla stock catalyst.
Hey everybody, come out over here, because you probably haven't seen anything quite like this before. I'm here with Terry Wachowski, the president of Carousop. Great to see you again, of course.
Great to see you again.
And we're standing inside of a Cybertruck, and the reason we're able to do that is you guys pulled the battery out of this thing already.
Right. Yeah, it's well, welcome to the heart of Carousop. We've been out in the parking lot and driving around, but this is where the heavy lifting happens. And now we're in the process of disassembling this Cybertruck. And we'll be doing all the analysis, the design. Why is the design the way it is? What's the benefit? What's the cost? How does it all add up at the end of the day, and what makes for a great design? So we're right in the middle of that, and I thought it'd be a great time. We talked last time about the steer-by-wire. And so before we took that system out of the vehicle, I wanted to make sure you got a chance to see it in position, in situ, and kind of see it there. And then later, after we get it all disassembled, you can come and take another look at it a little
At all the
closer.
parts laid
All the
out and
parts
everything
laid
like
out.
that.
Sure,
But
sure.
so was it a hassle getting the battery out of here or what?
Yeah, much like the Model Y, the Cybertruck followed suit, and the body in white doesn't have a floor. Now, for 100 years, when we made bodies, they had a floor. You know, when if you had a body group, they made a body that was structurally sound, took all the loads that it would experience. It gave you environmental security, it made you warm when you're cold and cool when you're hot, and safe in crash, and quiet and smooth. And when you did that, you believed you had a place to place your feet. I mean, there was a floor. With the integration activities that were really kind of a paradigm that was broken by Tesla on the Model Y, is the body in white has no floor. It simply takes the top of the battery, and then when they install the battery pack, it becomes the floor of the vehicle.
Real smart move.
It's
And
a
then they put the
smart move.
seats and the carpeting and the center console on top of all that. It goes up
Even
as one
before
unit.
it's installed.
Right,
So
yeah.
it just makes assembly that much
Yeah,
easier.
yeah.
Now the top of the battery had to be made a little thicker in order to do that double duty, but still they enjoy a great efficiency gain by doing that. So here's where we are. In this case, taking the batteries out of these things is a challenge. It's always a discovery. How are they held in there, and just the bulk of it. How do we take it down safely, and all these things. Actually, this one came out quite easily. I shouldn't say easy.
It's all relative.
But it was straightforward. You know, the fasteners were quite clear, and they took them out. And we got the battery over here. I'll give you a quick shot of that before I leave here today. We'll do a deeper dive on that.
Yeah, for another time when we come back to that. But you know what's cool when you pull all this out is you start to see some of the castings that are right into the passenger compartment.
Tesla's taking the castings further and further, as we'll see on this truck. Here, the rear seat, the structure for the rear seat is a casting. So they've taken that rear casting, and now they've extended it here with a rear seat.
And Terry,
as well as the front seat.
Yeah,
The front seat's also on castings.
on casting.
Instead of just a stamping, which is a typical roll for stamping for a seat track, they're castings.
And it looks like they're painting it or coating it in some way,
Yeah,
because
they
I've
are.
seen some of their other castings and it's just coarse aluminum.
Yeah, from stem to stern, you'll see that.
Why do you think they're coating it?
Corrosion, yeah.
Just
But
protect it
it's
that way.
just
Tesla, led by the visionary Elon Musk, has redefined not only the automotive industry, but also the energy and technology sectors. Its innovative products, like the Model 3, Model Y, and groundbreaking full self-driving technology, have captured the world's attention. And the Cybertruck is just the icing on the cake. Market sentiment can be a powerful force. Factors like macroeconomic news, geopolitical tensions, and broader market trends can lead to temporary drops in a stock's value. But we believe that this shouldn't be an issue for a seasoned investor. Why? Well, that's because beyond just making cars, Tesla is running this car business in a way that nobody else can. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Tesla Tomorrow. Tesla's vision extends far beyond being just an electric car manufacturer. Its FSD technology aims to revolutionize transportation, making it safer, more efficient, and ultimately autonomous. Successful investors often take a long-term perspective, and Tesla's past performance and its ambitious plans for the future make it an intriguing prospect for those willing to ride out short-term fluctuations. Tesla has cultivated a strong brand image and enjoys a passionate and loyal customer base. Its vehicles are known for their performance, range, and cutting-edge features. This is a company that has a strong following among tech enthusiasts, environmentalists, and early adopters, and this singular factor contributes significantly to its competitive advantage and market appeal. There are several variables that could shape the Tesla stock price in the few years, and the Cybertruck is definitely one of them. So why is this dip a golden opportunity for investors? And how will the Cybertruck turn things around for Tesla and Tesla stock? Let's find out. But before we continue, if you like this type of content, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay up to date on everything happening with Tesla. The future is green for anyone who believes in Tesla's long-term potential. And here's why. Tesla's dominance in the electric vehicle market is poised to grow stronger. As countries worldwide push for greener alternatives, Tesla is well positioned to capture an even larger market share. The automaker's continuous innovation sets it apart with its commitment to FSD technology and its ever-improving product line, making it a standout player in the automotive and tech sectors. This is why no one should be sleeping on this Cybertruck potential. Think about it. The Cybertruck is like Tesla's dream on wheels, and it's been turning heads. So what if Tesla is actually onto something here? What if the truck is much more than its head-turning design, but rather a potential goldmine?
And typically the steering wheel, through the column is connected to the steering gear, which connects to the tie rods to the tires. It's connected by a shaft that we refer to as an intermediate shaft. So this connects the steering wheel to the rack and pinion or the steering.
So this came off some other vehicle that you did tear down on.
Another vehicle, we just happened to grab it to make a comparison. This is typical. Now this would be connected right to the steering column. Then it has to pass through the front of dash. Well, when you pass through the front of dash, that's not incidental. We need to have a seal around that. We have to have a gasket. We have to have bolts and fasteners to attach it. And we have to have a bearing in there because this has to rotate through that seal. So it's a bit of a challenge. Then the steering wheel is never in line with the steering mechanism.
It's always offset.
Always off.
Because you got to package so much other stuff.
So you have to have a means of bringing that torque through an angle. And so here you can see they do it with a simple U-joint type arrangement. And if you arrange these in the appropriate orientation, you can get constant velocity. Turn this, and this will turn at the same speed. Get them off, and it's lumpy. It's like a U-joint on your socket. It goes up fast, slow down. So that's part of the challenge of making the intermediate shaft. Plus, the front the steering is attached to the chassis. This is attached to the body. They have relative motion when you hit bumps and such things. So these shafts have to allow these things to have different motion. So they have a telescoping mechanism. So there's splines in here and grease and sometimes bearings to allow these to stroke. And then of course you have to seal them also. So though it's just an intermediate shaft, it is not a simple thing. It has to be done well. And then it has to be error-proof such that when it gets assembled, it can't get misassembled.
With the Cybertruck, Tesla is entering a massive market completely dominated by gas-powered cars. People love their trucks, and with the Cybertruck, Tesla offers a futuristic alternative with better tech. The fact remains that the Cybertruck's functionality is no joke. With its towing capacity and spacious bed, it can handle business for contractors, adventurers, or just anyone who needs to haul a mountain of mulch. So basically, it's a truck that stands out. The Cybertruck's design is built for efficiency, and while its exoskeleton might look like it rolled off a movie set, it still translates to lower production costs. Plus, since the truck is electric, maintenance is a breeze. So right now, Tesla is saving money on both ends, which means more profit to reinvest and keep the stock price buzzing. Everyone knows that the Cybertruck isn't just a regular truck. However, not so many people know that it's a potential money-making machine on wheels. There are so many things to do with this truck, and the possibilities are endless. For one, Tesla could even develop its own rental platform, creating a whole new revenue stream. Imagine renting out your Cybertruck for weekend getaways, or even have it deliver groceries. This kind of innovation is exactly what investors love to see, and it could send Tesla's stock price into orbit.
Here is the battery you took out.
This is the center of attention here. This is the battery, 800-volt battery system.
With the castings for the front seat.
I mentioned that the seat riders were actually castings. And so this is the position that they would be in. The battery can be dressed. It can have carpet on it. It can have wiring harnesses. You can see a ribbon wire connector that's there. The penthouse battery control in the back. And again, relatively straightforward from a connectivity, a cooling, and electrical circuit.
Well, I can't wait to see, once you guys tear into this battery, what you find out.
Yeah. Well, this indestructible yellow plastic cable keeps us away from it until it's totally
Discharged. Yeah.
And we do. We discharge the batteries before we disassemble, and then we put shunting cables on to keep them from regrowing a charge. So
What do you mean, regrow a charge?
some of these, by their chemistry, you can discharge them and they can rebuild some
No
charge up. Yeah,
kidding.
you think it's totally discharged, and it's not, so you can be for a little surprise.
I never knew that.
So there's a shunting mechanism which doesn't allow that to happen. So we discharge them, we shunt them, and then we treat them as if they're fully charged. And that combination has served us well. I don't want anybody to get hurt around. John, before we go to the other truck, let me just point a couple little things out to you here
Yeah,
I found
sure.
interesting. If you look, there are some things that I would say are in the launch quality category. Launching a vehicle is always extremely difficult. And then, as we look at these vehicles, you can find them. A simple example, if you look at this seal and how it should be wrapped, over here, but you can see that it gets puckered here. You can see that it's bulbs and pops out over here. So these are areas that they have to try to refine both the product and the process in how to assemble it. So you'll see these pop up along the way. But
Now, is that an assembly line worker thing? Oh, it is. Okay, so it's not a problem with the seal itself, it's just the way it was put in?
well, yeah, it depends. Right? The seal could be hard to put in or by design, or it could go in easily, but someone's moving faster, they got a new person on the line, or they're just learning the system. Right. But you can see how it's been done here. Right. There was another interesting observation in that the front door is open, a nice large opening, but the rears actually open up about 90 degrees. So when you open the rear doors, they really have a wide swing. Noticed on this truck though, that this door opened 90 degrees, but that one didn't. It only opened like the fronts do. I said, what in the world? Why would one open, not the other? Well, when you look at the difference in the hinge, you can see how this is scalloped out so that when this hinge moves, it allows it to go that far. Where the front isn't scalloped like that, and it only allows it to go this far. Well, we find out that top hinge is one of these.
Tesla will continue to stand out for a ton of reasons, and this includes its cars, FSD, autonomy, and even superchargers. For one, the news of Tesla's supercharger has become common knowledge to most Tesla fans and pretty much anyone who keeps up with happenings in the EV company. As most people already know, Tesla has the best superchargers globally, with no other automotive brand coming close. Since Tesla unveiled its supercharger network in 2012 with the aim of allowing its Model S to travel long distances, no other company has done what the automaker has done in the EV industry. To think that Tesla is even opening up its superchargers to other automakers. This is something that no other car company can replicate anytime soon. By allowing more people to use its superchargers, Tesla will build a larger network for its business, consequently generating more revenue since this service will be paid. And with more revenue generated, Tesla can build more supercharger stations globally and expand its fleet. Also, since other car users can access Tesla's supercharging services, there is a high chance of successfully upselling more of Tesla's products and even cars to these users. Think about all the incredible features that can keep these users interested in Tesla. Already, Tesla has a big competitor edge over several other EV companies in terms of customer service, and it's not surprising judging by the interesting customer service features that the automaker has made available to its car and supercharger users.
The billionaire chairman of the world's biggest battery maker says the company is working on faster charging batteries for Tesla as the automaker tries to defend its market share and roll out a car for under $25,000. Now, in a wide-ranging interview, Robin Zhang, the chairman of the Chinese battery giant CATL, also told Bloomberg that the company is on track to license its technology to Ford at a plant in Michigan. Now, the project has attracted scrutiny and criticism from Republican lawmakers. Well, let's discuss all of this with Bloomberg's editor for Global Autos. He's the one and only Craig Trudell. Craig, it has to take an exclusive interview to get you on air, so I'm very happy about that. First of all, talk to us a little about what CATL is. So it's not seen as that friendly to, I guess, U.S. interests. So why is Tesla so close to it?
Yeah, I think CATL has become a sort of boogeyman in Washington where, Ford was trying to do this licensing deal where they would own the plant outright. They would essentially use equipment and technology from CATL but they would own everything and control everything, and even that was not enough. And it became so politicized that you even had, the governor of Virginia refer to CATL as a Trojan horse, really sort of charged language. I think what's interesting to me from this interview is this idea of just how close the chairman of CATL is with Elon Musk. And so while Ford has gotten a lot of heat in Washington for how close it is to CATL, it's not even nearly as close as Tesla has been with CATL.
But is that because Tesla also has gigafactories in China? And can they keep them separate?
I think it speaks to this idea as well of a sort of misunderstanding. There's been a sort of assumption that Tesla has been making its own batteries, which isn't exactly right. They've always relied on Panasonic in Nevada. They're highly reliant on CATL in China. The fact that they are starting to make some of their own batteries, but for the most part, they're highly reliant on suppliers. And I think the reliance on CATL in China in particular is something that's been really important because that plant has turned into an export center for Tesla globally.
But Craig, is it possible that lawmakers in the U.S. strike down on this?
I think there's absolutely a lot of skepticism being placed on that project in Michigan. I think there's even probably room for this to sort of grow in terms of the amount of attention on this company heading into election season with high-profile companies that politicians will relish the opportunity to get critical of this. And we're already seeing this. We're already seeing, the politicization of EVs, and this idea that, if we boost EVs in the U.S., are we just, essentially, helping China because they're so dominant of the supply chain?
When it comes to the EV business, Tesla stands out, and with the Cybertruck, things are going to get even more interesting. No doubt, it could take some time before people start to see the potential of this truck business, but that's the beauty of Tesla. It is constantly pushing boundaries and redefining what a car company can be. The Cybertruck isn't just a product, it's a symbol of innovation. And as Tesla proves the Cybertruck's success, it reinforces its reputation as a forward-thinking company, which of course is good for the stock price. So, the next time you see someone cruising in their Cybertruck, don't just see a quirky vehicle, rather see a potential catalyst for Tesla's future. And since the automaker's financials are greatly reflected in its stock performance, we can expect a bigger return on investment for Tesla shareholders in the long term. Before you make a hasty decision on your shares, remember that the recent dip in Tesla's stock price might just be your golden ticket to join the ranks of smart investors. Also remember that successful investing requires patience, research, and a belief in the company's long-term potential. Shares of great companies are bought and held for the long term. And we think this approach aligns perfectly with Tesla's innovative and growth-oriented business model. So instead of trying to predict short-term fluctuations, why not focus on the long-term growth story of Tesla? You never can tell, this could be your golden opportunity to win big on Tesla stock. What do you think about the Cybertruck? Will it have any significant impact on Tesla stock? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. And don't forget to tell us what your valuation for Tesla is. If you would like to know what Tesla has been up to these past few days, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen. See you there.